Alright, welcome back. Now we're going to be talking about the PC Gaming Show.
So of course, Joel is hosting. Joel, you just trail up. You're like I don't really care.
Okay, the first thing they showed off was Dawn of War 3 with the Warhammer games. And I've seen it. I've never played any of them. Have you guys played any of them?
No.
Okay. So like look at me like
Briefly, I'm surprised to see two Warhammer RTS games kind of announced in the same year. Like one just came out, Total War. This one comes out next year, so it's spread apart. But I don't know. It's kind of funny to have two similar games.
The game I actually do want to play of theirs is not RTS. It kind of looks like Left 4 Dead, but it has to do with like rats and like underground tunnels. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Vermin or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That game.
Vermintide?
Yeah. It's weird because that game I feel like came out of nowhere. Like there was no promotion. It was just
It's Warhammer too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like within that universe. So
what do you think the frame rate Dawn of War 3 was running?
25.
It was running a little rough.
I saw some dips into the teens for sure. But they actually warned ahead of time, like, this is going to be very early.
Yeah, it's very early footage, so that's understandable.
There's another game shown off called Oxygen Not Included. This is the one that was
the makers
like,
of Don't Starve.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that.
Don't Starve in Space.
It's a colony simulation game. It honestly kind of reminded me of the Fallout Shelter.
Shelter, yeah.
Like that. It kind of reminded me of that kind of thing. It has kind of a 2D paper drawing type like art style too. It was pretty cool looking. I'm not really that much into that game, but it looks pretty cool. Ark. They showed off. It looked awesome in these trailers. So I'm like,
Ark is a game that was shown at the conference.
No,
it's a game that was on the screen.
Well, they showed off new dinosaurs. And
Ark is cool because you can. It's like imagine Minecraft, but you had guns.
Well, I've seen tons
and
of
dinosaurs,
footage, tons of footage.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game.
Because I followed the Kickstarter.
It looked better in the trailer than anything I've played. I've only been on the beach, so maybe I'm missing all the good stuff.
When you get into like the woods and the sun's coming up or going down or something, like it looks pretty good. It's
so when the conditions are perfect, the game looks good.
It's still very much in development. Like it.
Yeah.
So you can't judge it too harshly on the polish level, but the overall art style isn't bad, and like the graphics are pretty. It's Unreal Engine 4.
The coolest part of that presentation though was the what was it called? Something Primal.
Oh yeah, Primal Survival Mod. You can play as animals. You can play as ants, eagles.
Literally
snakes.
any animal you can find on the island you can play as, which is kind of cool.
I thought it actually changed games for a second. I was like, what is this? I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I guess that was a mod, and now they're making that official, right?
Yeah, 2 official mods are coming out, and lots of new dinosaurs.
Yeah. Jeremiah, were you back in the room when they did the giant cop game?
No.
Okay.
That was actually fun.
It was kind of like it was like a god. What do we call it?
God game.
Game. Yeah. It was like.
It's not quite a city builder, not quite a city manager, but like you're a giant cop in the sky, so like you watch over a city and you hunt down crime with your 2 giant hands.
And you pick them up and just throw them.
Like
that's how you fight crime.
What was funny was people seemed to actually like be aware that you were like up there watching, because he caught one guy who had like stolen a flower pot and like got him with a magnifying glass. The guy's like, what? And then he grabbed him and like flicked him off into the ocean.
Yeah, and it was VR.
VR. So like you have the giant god.
It was unique. It reminded me actually. I don't know what it was called, but there was a.
Stop being graphic.
I'm gonna cry. There was a Wii U game that you had to do like kind of like a find and seek type game, and you use the Wii gamepad to like as a magnifying glass or whatever, like to spy around like a little town.
Oh, nice.
And you had to find like characters with like here's a red hat and a green shirt only, and there's tons of people walking by. Kind of reminded me of that. It was kind of unique. This I was excited for. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks pretty cool, like worth trying. Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord.
Which has been in development for 9 years.
Really?
Yeah, they were talking about how many players on each team, and they said 300.
No, that wasn't on each team.
It was single player.
Okay, that was only single player? Okay.
It was single player, but you had like 350 men, and the castle had like 400 some men defending it. So in single player, like it's a real siege.
Did they talk about multiplayer at all though? Because honestly I thought
they kind of glazed over it.
Okay, I thought he was referencing multiplayer.
The previous Mountain Blades, I'm not going to say exact numbers, but I feel like it had way more than 64. I think like over 100 players per server. Like I've seen some like Napoleon battle mods for the last Mountain Blade with huge amounts of players. So it's going to be pretty high, I imagine.
Yeah, I think if I find out more about it with multiplayer, that would be kind of fun. that looks like a Steam
The last
sale
one,
game.
Only for Windows 10.
It played pretty junky. It played pretty junky though. The last one, like, it was a fun game, the idea, but the controls were pretty garbage. So
It
Yeah,
felt
this
like
one
a
didn't look
mod.
that much better controls, but it just looked like it might be something fun if it's maybe not so much about the actual combat, but more of like making sure you have 50 guys versus 20 in this area,
about
and
the
then you
scale,
win. You know,
really.
yeah, more of the scale. So,
Scale and authenticity, not necessarily the.
yeah. This one piqued my interest when they said kind of Dark Souls like, although the trailer they showed almost nothing. It was called The Surge. It's like a futuristic hack and slash type game, but it was only at the very, like, literally there was like a second and a half of footage that showed like gameplay that looked like Dark Souls, and the rest of it was just trailer footage of just light beams and explosions and stuff like that. And honestly, I couldn't really tell what was going on. So, but the last 1 second of gameplay looked interesting. Dave, do you want to talk about the AMD cards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all about AMD. AMD is my source for gaming graphics.
I forget the name of the lady.
all right, so
Joel, Dave, you want to take over or I'm completely lost?
I can keep rambling.
So they brought out a case and they showed off the AMD RX 480, which they've already announced, the RX 470, and the RX 460. I find it curious that the RX 470 did not even have a heatsink on it. I don't know if they literally just grabbed it off a workbench when they were on the way out of the
yeah,
lab.
that was confusing.
But what I liked is, so we don't really know if they're going to make any high-end cards. Presumably because they're calling this the 480, there could be like a 490 or something to fill out the rest of their line. Or maybe they're just not going for that end of the market anymore, because they have said in the past they don't think they can compete in the high end of the market, and they'd rather compete, which they made a good point, in the 85% of the market, which is between $100 and $300. So the RX 480 looks like, when we find out benchmarks, it might be the best bang for your buck card on the market. And then they showed off the RX 470, which is kind of the 1080p, they describe it as the 1080p 60 FPS max graphics card.
It's the 970.
It's the new 970, which they didn't talk price, but I'm guessing it would be like 140 to 150.
That would be insane.
And then the RX RX 460, which they say is going to be their esports card.
Yeah,
so it's going to be
what
fast
they-
enough. That means fast enough to run
Just like
Dota,
kind of more
League of
simple,
Legends,
like,
Counter Strike.
okay, got it.
Fast enough for that, but very low power consumption, so you can put it into a small, like, traveling, like a LAN box, and
Okay.
cheap enough that teams can buy lots of them, like, for players. So
Okay,
like
I was
if
wondering
you're-
what that meant. I was like, I didn't know if it was
an
like
entry level card that isn't a joke. Like the
Got it.
GeForce GTX 710 is like you
So
can't
just
for
basically kind of
720.
more
you
like
can't
money
for
on the
watching
go.
video.
Right, it's not one of
Gaming on
those
the go.
video
Got
watching
it.
cards. It's an actual real graphics card that's just cut down and cheap. So,
I found it very strange that that's their lineup.
and then,
They
that's
sure-
all they're announcing for now. That's all
Surely
we know.
they've got some higher end cards coming
Who
out
knows?
later.
Then they showed off
maybe they're behind too.
Single
They're not even
worst
close to-
1990s teaser for the Zen CPU platform. They just ended with "I am Zen."
On a CPU, like
And then-
an illustrated CPU, like 2D illustration.
It was terrible.
Right after that, totally not nerdy whatsoever.
Joel, you skipped
was
something.
Well, I didn't skip anything.
You skipped.
Lawbreakers.
Well, hold on. Totally nerdy.
Yeah.
Totally not nerdy.
Alienware backpack for Oculus and stuff like that.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just basically a wearable computer backpack.
Dude, if there was a PlayStation version, you would think it was amazing.
No. Here, I mean, it's awesome. It was just more of the way it came out. It was like, it was just like, it looked really funny.
They didn't show up a
there's
good
company-
application of it. The girl just came out and then walked around and then
Yeah,
walked
just,
back
like,
off.
showing off, like,
if
look
somebody
at this.
came out with like a gun controller with like the motion things clipped into it, wearing the backpack, showing like you can move around the whole room
Yeah,
like Battlefield, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
This was just look at this
Yeah.
fashion accessory from
Someone-
Alienware, only $7,000.
Someone on Twitter described the computer backpack as the "Please rob me" starter pack, because like the alien logo glows in the back. Like, oh, I
And
can't.
you're wearing goggles, so you can't see. So it's a great backpack for your playing in the privacy of your own home with the doors locked.
securely.
Well, the cool thing about those backpacks that consumers are probably not going to be buying at all.
Oh,
but
definitely
there's a company in the UK that is making they bought a whole mall and they're actually recreating it all in VR, 100% accurate. So basically what they're doing is they're going to create their own zombie apocalypse Left 4 Dead thing. So you can have, I think, up to six friends together and you
And
rent
you
this
move
out.
through the mall?
And you move through the actual physical space. But what's cool is, like in VR, you're seeing, let's say like a door that opens or whatever, zombies come out of it, right? You can have, think of like you're on a street and like steam coming up. Well, they can have actual steam coming out to the
So it's like augmented reality.
yeah, augmented reality in VR. I think that is going to be amazing. I wish that was something here in the US that we were doing.
They showed off Serious Sam as part of that demonstration.
Yeah. And then they did that.
And what we skipped was Lawbreakers.
Yeah, that's from Cliff Blazensky, the Gears of War
Cliffy
guy?
B.
Cliffy B, yeah. Gears of War main dev. It honestly, I mean, it kind of looked a lot like, Dave was saying it looked like Overwatch, that kind of game.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
It's a
they call
multiplayer
it.
battle arena.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
Shooter.
Yeah, I mean, it looks polished. I mean,
Yep.
anyone else? Yeah.
It's not really our thing. So
Yeah, it's not our thing, so. Vampire. Or Vampire.
Vampire. They're French, you know.
I put those down here. It kind of was Witcher-esque looking action game.
For the combat, I think
It looked a little bit, just for the
very
combat. I mean, that's
Witcher-esque.
really all we saw was just a little bit of combat. I think they teased this last year too, as well.
I think it could be a cool game if
Yeah.
it's fully fleshed
I don't
out.
know.
One of my favorite old RPG games was the Vampire Blood. What was it called?
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines.
Yeah. It looks like I think
that was
they
pretty
could pull out a
alpha
pretty
footage.
cool game, honestly. But they didn't really show too much. They did show a lot of Killing Floor 2. Mm-hmm. There's new DLC content called Bullseye content, and it's going to have, I think, new weapons, and I think it has a whole new setting, too, as well. It looked almost kind of World War II-ish, or like zombie slash. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's a VR Killing Floor game. So,
Killing Floor incursion.
Yeah, and for Killing Floor, it totally changed the style of the game from being like an arena wave-based shooter to almost like a survival-based
Horror game,
shooter. which
yeah,
was-
kind of reminded me of like Time Crisis a little bit. Like you
Never
have
played
certain.
that.
You ever play Time Crisis in the arcades?
Nope.
You'd have these little
In arcades,
playing these,
that's
right?
that's
you remember
why.
the pedals you put your foot on? You basically you'd hold.
I don't remember
you
pedals.
You don't remember like anyways, you put your foot down on this pedal, and what that would do is it would put you behind cover, and when you let go, you pop up over cover and shoot. But every time you let go, if you killed all the people, you would move to the next zone, and so anytime you push that pedal, it would like reload and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that kind of game, which I think is going to work well for VR. Do you guys remember Super Hot? Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. Super Hot VR. That's that one kind of like really
It starts out like a very.
red, blue, white.
It looks almost
Matrix-esque.
like Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, Mirror's Edge. That's better. Yeah.
yeah.
But people really love the game, so getting to play it in VR.
I think this gonna be a great VR game actually.
Yeah.
Because you physically have to move your body, and anytime you move, it moves the game. Tyranny from Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Yeah, the
And
people who made
Paradox.
Pillars of Eternity.
And New Vegas.
Yep. So it looks kind of like, it looks very much like a new Pillars of Eternity, but a completely kind of different genre and stuff. It was more sci-fi.
Isometric too, I think.
Isometric.
Old school.
Yeah. That's what I mean,
Diablo-esque.
Pillars of
I mean, that's what
was
Pillars of
saying, too.
Eternity
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I'm excited. Very
You just
interested.
play more of the ruler role.
Yeah, you're the evil
Yeah.
bad person who won.
Yeah,
and is
yeah.
now like enslaving the realm. I guess that's kind of cool.
What'd you guys think of Observer? It was kind of like the Soma-looking game. Like, they didn't show much of it,
didn't
but it
show
looked
anything,
kind of
yeah.
interesting.
Well, they said it's going to prey on your fears.
Yeah.
I said I thought it would be funny if like they give you some sort of quiz at the beginning of the game and figure out what you're afraid of. So like your version might have snakes or spiders or it's
I
underwater.
think that's a really genius idea, honestly.
They need to hook up with, like, sign up on Facebook for free updates, blah, 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 and then really, like, start doing questionnaires for fun
You
on
know-
there, but they're really building your profile. So when
would
you
be
start
awesome.
the game, you don't do any of those questions.
That-
You're like,
that-
how did
honestly,
they
that's genius.
know? I forgot it.
Because
It
it
is-
reminds me of, if you're drawn to life, the game, so you can like literally, you can write anything like airplane, zombie baseball, like you can do anything and it almost creates in the game. I feel like a game that you fill out a form or write, almost like a Mad Gabs, but a video game where you fill it out and then all of a sudden you're now playing that randomly generated game with weird, that would be cool.
Did they announce, is that VR or not? Did they say?
I don't remember. I don't
That would be.
think so.
It looks like it'd be a really awesome
Yeah,
game to play in
I think
VR. 'cause it
I would
looks like it
love
could be
for
pretty
Soma
intense.
to be remade or like come out as a VR game.
PC version
I'd
might
play
always
it
get a
again.
patch. You never know.
Yeah. Drop Zone. It was an RTS-like game with robots.
Cool.
I just top thing. Also, drop in. I was like, because it looked like Titanfall RTS game.
Next.
Yeah, there was not actually too much shown on that. Armor 3, Dave.
My body's ready. It was pushed back about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, but I have a fingerprint reader. I can just touch it, and it's all there again. Armor 3 only slightly delayed. However, if you have pre-ordered the expansion pack, you can actually see all the content outside of the final patch for it, coming out next month, right now on Steam
on the dev branch or on?
It's actually a third branch called Preview.
Okay.
So you
Because
can.
they needed an extra place for.
I
Not
think-
quite ready for this or that.
Well, they decided to do it because apparently the interest for Dev Branch was nuts. Kind of like the current DayZ patch. Like hundreds of thousands of players were going to the Dev Branch to try out new stuff. So like, all right, whoa, Preview Branch, just take a look at the new toys.
It looked really good.
And quite honestly, with the setting and everything, I would rather play Wildlands and Arma. Because, like, you're talking about, is it going to be hard? Are the enemies going to kill you really quickly? Will you have to actually play it correctly? That it would all be the case in Arma.
Wildlands literally looked like you could just go and be wild.
Yeah.
Do whatever you wanted and blow stuff up that didn't need to be blown up.
Confirmed for Apex though, new jungle-based South Pacific 100 square kilometer terrain. Their best looking terrain ever. New water effects. It looks
The graphics
looks amazing.
The new renderer in the game is making.
Yeah, it does actually look pretty good.
surprised at how good it looked.
Yeah.
New guns, including classic guns, a whole set of AKs and RPGs, all that kind of old style.
If we could just get rid of the mods.
I am down for playing a co-op game if we can strip some of the mods so that I can like actually see what
Nobody
is in the
invited
main
you
game.
to play against their mod pack.
I'm gonna buy the game. I'm gonna host my own.
You already
co-op.
own it, fool.
Well, I don't own the DLC thing. I do want to play this DLC because the cards are cool. But you guys have so many mods.
We'll play a special Joel training. We'll play a training wheels version with Joel.
I'll play with the Joel.
Apparently, a lot of the new guns and stuff are actually from the DayZ art team, which is really cool. So they'll be super high quality.
I guess they were like, "Hey, DayZ, our team, you got to slow down on making stuff in DayZ because the game doesn't work yet. So slow down the 500 new hats.
Too much art. Too much art.
You open a bar and just hats. Gotta put them somewhere.
Tons of new vehicles. I think 14 vehicles confirmed. Really high quality. We have a like Jurassic Park 4x4 Jeep. We got hovercrafts, all kinds of new content, and a 4-player co-op campaign that you and your friends can drop in and out of for the whole campaign.
That's cool. The Turing test.
That was a weird.
It
looked like.
I was not really sure exactly what it was because it
It
showed.
looked like a Portal-esque.
Yeah, but like it showed some scenes of like driving on a moon, and then it just went down underground, and that stayed there.
It seemed like
for
it
the
could
rest
be
of
like
the
a little bit of
trailer.
a psychological thriller puzzle game. Was the impression?
Portal
Yeah.
meets Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I put
Yeah,
it.
it looked like it'd be cool though. I'm excited to see more about it.
Overland, apocalyptic tile-based game, kind of like Flame in the Flood.
That's kind of cool. I think that looked.
Yeah, it
I like the art style.
looked interesting.
We didn't see much of it actually at the conference, but this is a game that I read a preview for a few months back, and people who have played it says that it's like really, really compelling, and it's a little bit like random gen as you go across to the
This is
coast.
coming from Immersion Magazine today.
Yeah.
Immersion Magazine now.
PC Gamer. But I think that's one game that I will make time to try out for sure.
Dual Universe. Space game exploration, randomly generated. Honestly, this I think it looked like garbage.
It looked kind of like crap, but I
They
think
said
because it's-
pre-alpha, so I think it was maybe a little early to show it off, but I don't know. It's another. I think, unfortunately, I think Space Sim is going to become the new open world survival game, where it's like, I mean, they talk about some cool stuff. Single Shard, which No Man's Sky is not, I believe.
It looked like a poor man's No Man's Sky
And No Man's Sky doesn't look that great.
with more building.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. The thing is, we don't really know anything about
But it's
it.
got dual universes or two planets. I really hope that's what it is. Just like, yeah! Oh, that's where I go.
Did you find out that the teaser trailer where they went from point A to point B is literally the whole game?
That's it.
Like, no guys, that was our gameplay demo.
Well, they,
They changed the title to Dual Planets.
They showed the.
Two worlds.
One game.
Oh wow! I thought it was funny that they showed the trailer portion twice.
Yeah.
Like they showed it and then they showed it again to get to the gameplay. Why? Why did you show that in the first place?
Halo Wars 2. I think it's going to be phenomenal. Honestly, it looked really good.
Because they showed it off at the Microsoft press conference, and
Yep.
they brought the guy out to actually
And it's
talk
good-
about bringing
good
it to the
developers,
PC.
yeah. Good developers.
Yeah, that should be probably a home run, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Aren't that many RTS games coming out anymore on the PC? But they showed off a few this year so far. We've seen it looks like there might be a small resurgence.
Wait
in
a
that.
minute, we skipped Razor's big announcement.
Of nothing.
So don't even write anything down.
Razors.
Hey, we're here.
It was a joke. It was a joke video. Joel was like, "What do I write down?" No. It was just.
I couldn't tell.
It was
because come on, some videos are pretty garbage.
Yeah,
You can't tell. Was
it's
that
funny.
actually? They didn't do a good job at saying.
They did
hey, we're
not do a
being
good job of
sarcastic.
making it a joke.
Yeah,
but it was a
'cause
joke.
You couldn't quite tell. Like it was.
Which sometimes means it's a good joke. I didn't know Dirty Homeless Planet was a joke for the first 10 minutes. That's an amazing documentary Joel made for anyone who doesn't know.
Amazing.
So yeah, Halo looked really good.
Day of Infamy from Insurgency Devs. An RTS game.
Yeah, that Company of Heroes looking, which we thought might have been a first-person shooter at first.
It didn't
was a
actually
first-person
say
shooter.
RTS game, so we honestly
true.
don't know. It would be hilarious. It was like first person. I was like, this looks like shit.
I don't think it's an FPS though, because I saw in later clips they finally pulled the camera back.
Yeah.
I noticed soldiers were moving in groups.
Oh yeah,
of
but
like
I'm
4 or
surprised it didn't
5.
say like, hey, a new strategy.
Well, they said almost nothing. The guy like had 30 seconds of the host had like this big build up where I can't see the name. We just gotta show the footage first. And it's like, so there it is. I can say the name. It's this game. Day of Infamy.
Day of Infamy, which nobody knows about.
And then it was right to the next thing. I was like, wait, well, what is it?
I forget the name of this game, but it was Mirage. Okay, by the Chivalry people. As they said, has magic and blasting people. Like you can melee and blasting people with magic.
Looks like Chivalry.
Cartoon-esque design style.
It looks like Chivalry in a different setting, like the same style combat. I guess it's another one of those we need to see some more.
Yeah,
From what I saw, because this is when Ubisoft was going live, so we switched over to watch that. But I still had it playing on my phone. Like the color palettes look really cool. It looks like it would be a fun universe to run around and fight in. But
there's probably not gonna be a universe. There's probably gonna be like small sections.
Well, universe is you created your own.
Yeah.
I'll smack you later.
And is that when we switched over to watch the Ubisoft press?
Yeah.
Ubisoft press conference.
Wow, that was a
We made a
mistake.
horrible mistake.
What was announced after
Oh
we
my
left?
gosh, that was a nightmare. So the next game they showed was called Mages of Mystralia. I was watching it on my phone. It looked really good. It looked like an Indivisible type game, like that. Just that really artsy, fartsy looking style.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
But that's my kind of game. It looked a little old school.
Now we're really just reading off a live blog thing. Now we don't know much.
I saw a few clips of Warframe, which looked okay, but it looked kind of blah. And then started watching Deus Ex during Ubisoft.
Mankind Divided. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch that trailer.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
but I think that was pretty much all for them.
Nice. So compared to last year's show, what'd you guys think?
It was way better than last year.
Much more polished, much faster pacing. It was what, 2.25 hours last.
It was 2.25, and it was already late when it started.
Yeah.
It started really late at night.
It ended like 11:45 at night our time. It was.
Yeah, it was definitely nearing 3 hours.
I mean, they didn't announce too much. I'm really disappointed that AMD's not doing a higher end card at this point.
They haven't announced
at this
yet.
point.
Yeah.
And their processor announcement was really lame.
They've announced Zen twice without actually
giving away anything.
8 cores, 16 threads. Cool. I want to hear like $200 coming out at this time. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear something concrete because that's what gamers actually are interested in. But
I think it was much better laid out this year. They still didn't have like any. I need to watch this show to get information, on new stuff.
But no, well, a lot of these are PC-centric titles that you may not be that interested in.
Oh, I'm not saying...
I think, depending on what you're into, I think it's not the type of show... Like, if you were a big Xbox fan, this morning's Xbox conference was like a straight win.
Even if you're an Xbox fan, though. If you're a gamer,
that's true. If you're a gamer, it was really cool. But I don't think anyone's going to watch this and be a fan of every single thing they showed off. So I think there were cool nuggets in here for most types of gamers.
I guess here's an example. The Halo Wars 2.
Right.
If they could secure that to show that off at that event, I think that would make this event cool. If this is not E3 week, I think their whole thing would be. I think this would be even cooler, honestly. But I think because it's E3 and you are expecting show me something like way brand new. I did not know it was coming out. I think this is the time that people are expecting that.
Like the Ubisoft conference?
I'm not a fan of all the RTS games, but I'm like, Halo Wars. It looks cool. I might get it. I might not. I'm not sure. But I can appreciate the that's cool. They brought back that game that people are excited to play. I think it'd be cool if they get secure a few more of those just surprises. I think that would just be really cool for it. And I think that would get people really excited to come see the PC gaming event. And because I think that's going to make it better for them too.
I think it was better this year than last year for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think they're kind of getting their format down, figuring out.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having a show where you actually get to have a conversation with devs a little bit longer rather than you're going to come out and tell us about your game. You know, the host that actually pokes fun at him a little bit and asks him a couple questions and
Well, yeah,
just
it's not
chats.
that
a little.
everybody does their pre-written speech
Right,
on
yeah,
stage.
No,
It was a lot more casual.
I was kind of hoping to see.
Compared to Ubisoft. Come on.
I think it would
I would actually-
cringe at the PC Gamer one because they're just like it was more like they're just hanging out and talking about their new games that are coming out. Like it
I'd
wasn't.
watch the PC gaming one twice over watching the Ubisoft once.
Because you would have enough time to watch it twice.
Well played, sir.
I was kind of hoping for who was the guy at the end of the Xbox?
Gabe Newell.
No, Microsoft.
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer to come.
It would have been nice if he came over
If he
to
just
talk
talked
about
a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. It'd be so cool if they can secure a few more things where it's like, oh,
I think
cool.
I think
you're gonna get more
next E3
information.
is going to be when
Like,
they really.
It would have been cool if he came over and talked about all this, like briefly skim through all the announcements
Yeah.
they made this morning. I guess they figure most people know them by now.
I guess like it'd be cool if they had a few more just tiny exclusive announcements there. That would be really neat because I feel like sometimes it's just like, oh hey, we already showed it at the last 2 events, so we're gonna just talk about it again. So if you've already seen it, you've already heard about the new Warhammer because it's been leaked. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that's like, oh, we've already known about it for quite a while. And a lot of it, you've seen a lot of gameplay footage already. So I think that would be really awesome. I think for
And I was actually surprised on that note, Joel, to see that Arma was like a very, very brief portion, like almost no
Yeah.
footage
Yeah,
whatsoever.
they were a sponsor.
Because Arma's a big seller on PC, and it's an experience you can only get on PC right now. That's like a cornerstone of the show. It was like a 5-minute little thing. It'd be cool to see some heavy hitters like DayZ, Arma, more of these bigger strategy games, maybe a Total War being there. And
Wait, did you call that a heavy hitter for
Yeah.
PC?
On PC, it is, dude. The amount of sellers and the amount of concurrent players, Arma 3 is one of the
Yeah,
cornerstone
but
games of the
DayZ, is
platform.
that a heavy hitter right now?
Not right now.
6
not-
million sales, and
Yeah, but
Not
it's-
right
I mean, I guess
now,
really
though.
League of Legends. That's
Yeah, if you talk about League of Legends, that's a heavy
like
hitter.
there's no news for League of Legends.
that's like
though.
100 times bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, it was great. So hopefully it'll just continue to get better next time.
I was just referring,
And maybe they have a hard time honestly getting some of the exclusive things
Yeah.
to be announced
Yeah.
there.
I am
'Cause it's
surprised
not
they didn't
known.
talk about DayZ at all.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
they
true.
actually did after the show was over. They had like a post show, some interviews, and Brian Hicks talked DayZ for about 15 minutes. But they decided not to show it because they're getting ready for the 0.60 stable launch, and they just said we don't want people like getting on a hype train before it comes out. We want to wait till it's actually out and available for people to play. So we're not going to have a show floor presence or a presentation. We're just going to talk about it and then just wait and watch.
Cool. All right, well, thank you guys very much. We're excited for the Sony press conference. I really want them to do something good and bring it home after that Ubisoft
Yeah,
one.
me too.
Holy crap. But thanks,
Everybody
guys.
take a nap.
We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
I just took a 2-hour Ubisoft nap.